Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Lloyd. I'm here to talk about the mobility and transportation planning that we've undertaken as part of the master plan process. Last time we met, and I was in front of a group of people in the community talking about mobility and transportation for the 2150 Lakeshore property, we talked a little bit about the challenges in the area, and then we talked about how we were responding to that as part of the master plan and how we believed that was important. So we're aware of the challenges that people in this area face trying to reach higher order transit, and really that level of accessibility isn't probably what you would like today. We're also highly aware, of course, of the traffic congestion and the issues that are faced in the community daily, largely because of the overspill from the Gardiner Expressway along Lakeshore and Park Lawn. And these were central elements that we really wanted to address as we went forward in the master planning, because we believe that those are responsibilities that we do need to answer, not only for the development itself, but of course for the community at large. So we had three big ideas that we were moving forward with. We wanted to create new transit options for the neighborhood at large, and of course for the development proposal. We believe we can do that. We wanted to address the traffic congestion in a meaningful way that actually really enabled the neighborhood to be benefited positively by the interventions that we could create. And then lastly, we really wanted to create a walkable community that could really enable the whole of Humber Bay Shores to leverage the development opportunity and the mixture of uses that are planned within the development plan on a really grassroots, walkable, on-foot basis. So what have we been doing in the last little while? Well, the master plan has evolved. These processes do involve change and refinement. What is important really from a mobility perspective is that the large, big moves that I just referred to are still central to the planning of the master plan. There have been changes related to parks, changing size and growing, and other moves on the more urban design perspectives, but the elements of the mobility plan that have changed a little bit relate to some TTC work that we have been engaged quite heavily with, buses on Park Lawn. They were in a different location originally, and how to integrate the LRT facilities into the GO Station transit hub that we're proposing. Which brings me to transit, a really critical piece of the master planning effort, and central to the ideas and the themes that we've really been working through as part of that whole mobility planning for the area as a whole. We're proposing a new Park Lawn GO Station. That's a significant facility on the Lakeshore West Line, and we're working really hard with Metrolinx and the City of Toronto to bring that to a reality through all the processes required to actually enact and implement such a big piece of infrastructure. But it's not just about the GO Station, of course. We really need to be able to bring local transit and local people to that GO Station to take advantage of the great travel opportunities that system provides. Part of our master plan is to bring a dedicated LRT facility through the development plan from Lakeshore to the GO Station, a dedicated transit LRT facility providing great passenger connections to and from between those two facilities. And then also, of course, buses. And these are an important part of serving a lot of southern Etobicoke. TTC have been highly engaged through a process with us in providing optimal bus locations on Park Lawn Road, just adjacent to the transit hub itself, providing great opportunities for passengers to obviously connect between the GO Station and the bus network. And we're really actually interesting changes as part of the master planning process, and the master plan itself have been the introduction of a pedestrian connection, street connection that links to Station Plaza and between those bus stations and the main transit hub itself, providing a really great environment for that passenger transfer to occur in. Brings me to the traffic congestion. Now, this is not a new topic for this neighborhood. This is something that's been all the time I've been involved in work and development work down in Humber Bay Shores. This has been a top-of-mind discussion. Well, we think we've got a big proposal for this in terms of the Relief Road, now called Street A in the documentation submitted to the city, which is a major bypass in some ways. It's a major facility, a new connection linking from Park Lawn to Lakeshore Boulevard, going under the railway line that really, in its essence, allows for traffic that would currently be using Lakeshore and Park Lawn to bypass pieces of the Gardiner, doing so to the detriment of the Humber Bay Shores neighborhood and to the character of Park Lawn and Lakeshore itself, and allowing that same traffic, the heavy commuter traffic, to be routed around the rear of the north side of the property, of the development property, along the Gardiner corridor, and really removing them from Lakeshore and Park Lawn, where you really want to be able to create a much more locally focused Main Street condition, lined with retail, providing for all road users, whether you're on a bike, a pedestrian, high use of transit, but a lesser car-oriented environment that would allow those two streets to become the spines of the Humber Bay Shores neighborhood in a way that they haven't been able to this point. And that's a big focus, a big opportunity, we believe, through the redevelopment of this property. There's a series of new streets, of course, being proposed as part of the development plan. These are being created as complete streets. That means they're intimate, they're providing for all users, not just for the car. There'll in fact be a limited amount of car usage on majority of the streets within the network that we're proposing. But bicycle facilities, great boulevard conditions for pedestrians, and also, of course, a great public realm that is something that we've really been working hard at to provide throughout the development plan, to provide a great walking environment for everybody and anybody who wants to walk to and from any element of the plan. Which brings me to local community connections. And this is really important from a mobility perspective when we consider the range of uses that are planned within the master plan. This is a highly mixed use retailing, restaurant, institutional uses and employment uses, as well as residential. These are the heart of the project. The Galleria is a central piece of that. But it's not only for the 2150 Lakeshore property that is available for. It's for all of Humber Bay Shores. And what we would really like to create is an environment where people from all over Humber Bay Shores and the development plan itself are able to move and walk around on foot between the places where they live and the places they want to go. This has great benefits for the community as a whole. It plays to the theme that both Park Lawn and Lakeshore can become spine main streets of the community as a whole, but it really enables trip making to be shortened. It provides local facilities for people to go and actually take advantage of, rather than jumping in a car and going further afield to achieve those same needs. And it really allows for the car usage factor of a whole community to be reduced, which in the end benefits traffic congestion and so forth on the network. These are all goals that we see as being great opportunities for the whole of Humber Bay Shores if we get it right. Which adds, of course, the next layer is cycling and the ability to also provide a network of cycling connections that build upon the really great connections across Lake Ontario, the frontage of Lake Ontario provided by the Martin Goodman Trail, but to provide great facilities on Lakeshore, on Park Lawn, and on all of the streets within the actual development plan itself to enable the same connections on the pedestrian front to be provided on bike. This allows for people to be able to take a bike share, their own private bike, to and from a GO station, the TTC hub, and to any of the retailing opportunities in the area. A really strong way to get that last mile travel really, really understood and provided in a great way that people will enjoy and be able to use. Lastly, really, when we start to think about how can we complement those factors, is we've created, through the master planning process, the ability to provide all of this servicing and the parking below grade. And this is notable, and it's only really available to us because the nature of the master plan is that we can provide all of those facilities below grade, which means you don't see parking ramps, loading areas littered across the grade level. Again, what that really enables is a great public realm, a great walking environment, and a great cycling environment, and a great place for people to enjoy a great walk. And so really when you put all that together, we end up with what we believe to be a complete mobility plan for the development site, as well as for Humber Bay Shores. The provision of great transit opportunities, we believe, is going to be vital to obviously the development plan, but also highly beneficial to all of the community. That's on the GO side, and of course on the TTC side, and linking those services together. And that's something we really are excited about trying to make happen. There's a great public realm and a great pedestrian realm and a great cycling story that we really want to complement through this process. Now, of course, these things are also topics that are going to be reviewed through the city's Transportation Master Plan and the Christie's Secondary Planning Study. Those vehicles, plus work that we're also doing with Metrolinx, are the ones that are going to enable the big infrastructure moves to be actually made. Without those, it would be very difficult for a development like this to actually create that environment. In this case, there's a great coming together of processes that will allow real action to be implemented. And we look forward to working with you in trying to make that happen. Thank you.